Okay, as long as it's recording, we should be good. This is Ron Jones with the radiologictechnologist.com website, blog, YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, social media. I have two people I've got to get caught up with for emails. I've waited too long. The first one, and I'll do separate videos for you guys, but I'm answering questions that I get on email. This one is coming to me from Autumn. And she says, good morning. I have recently joined your Facebook group and started watching your videos on YouTube. I'm currently enrolled at CAC, and I was invited to do the interview at the Radiologic Technologist program by the director next week. I'm looking for information on what to expect and how to prepare for the interview. Also, how I can watch you live on Saturdays when you're streaming. I would like to follow along. Any feedback would greatly appreciate it. First of all, thanks for even finding me and sending me a message. Always happy to give my 2 cents in the world of radiology anyway. There are several things you can do. So I think first and foremost, your concern is about the interview process. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel, first of all, and go to my videos.
Here are 5
and go to manage videos. And one thing you can do is go to my YouTube channel and do a key search for, or a search for the keyword interview. And what you'll find are all of the videos that I've done on interviewing. And I'm scrolling through. I've got a couple of hundred videos on here now. So when I very first started, is this all videos? Still going, still going. So when I first started, video number 5, it's reverse engineering the interview for RadTech. Well, that one's RadTech jobs, but oftentimes there are similar questions in rad school interviews as there is in RadTech job interviews. Like why did you choose us? What's your best strength? All those kind of things are good for any kind of interview process. So I would recommend you go through here and watch some of these videos. I mean, there's other good stuff, like the very first video I've got on here is what the clinical setting looks like when you get into the job, what the hospital setting looks like. Can I work full-time while I'm going to x-ray school? Because the schools will tell you you can't work full-time, it's too hard. So look at the reverse engineer, and I wonder if I click on that, if I can. I think in the comments, maybe I try to do notes in the comments. Nope, not in that one. So let me do interview search, like what I just recommended. Let me go back out to the main page, channel content, interview. It's only taking me to the last video for some reason. Maybe that's because I'm in studio. Nope, that's everybody's. Go to my channel. Oh, there you go. So when you go to a YouTube channel in particular, there's the toolbar, home, videos, playlist, community, channels, about, and search. And from there, you do a search for interview. And I have the reverse engineering for interview, reverse engineering the interview for RadTech jobs, which is a 21-minute video. And then I got interviewed by someone in x-ray school for a RadTech assignment. I've done 2 of those. How to get accepted into a RadTech school is a video that goes over all the aspects of applying, including the interview. I have one called Best Resume Review for RadTechs. Do this, not that. That's how to set up your resume, because you're probably gonna have to give a resume to the school. Trying to weed out the ones that aren't relevant. I have a really good one about how to check the hospital before you apply to work there, because once you graduate and you go to apply to hospitals, you don't just want to shotgun your resume out to everybody, because there are some hospitals you don't want to work at. And so I did a video on how to research the hospitals to make sure it's a place you want to work. how to negotiate your salary. Let's see. I did a review of Pima Medical Institute, which is another option near CAC. I did a complete review of that school and what was required to get in and how I got in. That's titled Phoenix Radiography School Review, Pima Medical and Gateway Community College. That's all that's really coming up with the keyword interview. Let's go back to your question. Prepare. So some of the other things that would also apply would be to make sure you know where you're going. I would map it out. I would go there the night before and see where exactly you're going, so you're not on your way there 10 minutes before your interview and figuring out you're not quite sure where it's at. So you want to know where it's at ahead of time. You want to get plenty of sleep the night before. A lot of these tips also come from my article on how to pass your board exams, because you have to be, fresh, meaning get lots of sleep and you can think straight. Don't wake up last minute and go, because you're going to have brain fog, whatever you want to call it, monkey brain, whatever the current phrase is for you're just not awake yet. You can ask who's doing the interview, and you can Google search that person. You can find them on Facebook probably and see what they like and don't like, kind of do some research on the person that's going to be interviewing you, so you know a little bit more about them. They may ask you about volunteer service, they may not, but it's always good to have that in mind. I recommend you do some volunteer service, or at least say that you're looking at doing some volunteer service in a healthcare related field somehow, because people at the schools, when they're interviewing students, they want to know if you know what you're getting yourself into. How much research did you do about the radiography world before applying? Some people just blindly apply and have no idea what they're in for. And some of us who even know what we're in for still don't know all of it till you get into the program. And some stuff they still don't even teach you the program. You find out when you get into the real world on the job, like that we x-ray dead bodies. I didn't know we did that until I was on the job one night, and the county coroner brought in a dead body in a bag and said, I need you to x-ray this so we can see if there's any bullets in the body or whatever. So since I was on the college, that program's been around a while. It should be well established. My mom used to teach there in another program. She did medical billing and coding there. I used to work at what was it called? Now it's called Banner Goldfield, but it was called something prior to that when I worked there. It used to be right down the street from there. It was a relatively small class back then, 20 years ago. It was like, I don't know, 6 people or less or something. But just ask questions, ask where, and you can ask before the interview or at the interview, where are the clinical rotations? What are your options for clinical? That shows you're doing some research. It shows you're thinking more about it and different aspects of it. You want to know where the clinical rotations are, because I have another article and video on how to pick the best clinical rotations. You may want to go to level 1 trauma for all the excitement and to see that kind of stuff. You may want to go to an outpatient clinic if you're more interested in specific things like ortho work or something like that. You want to definitely rotate around to a few different places to get a wide variety. You're only going to get OR at a hospital. You're not going to get OR in an ortho clinic. So you want a well-rounded education before you're out in the job field. If you miss any of that and then jump out in the job field, I know techs that when they were students, they were stuck in an outpatient clinic the entire time, never got OR. And when it came time to get a job and they applied to a hospital, they say, have you had any OR experience? And the answer is no, which doesn't mean you can't learn it on the job, but it definitely puts you behind the 8 ball if you never got exposed to it. So the streaming live Saturday's kind of been hit and miss. I haven't done it in a little while. What I don't like about it is I may cover 5 topics, but YouTube doesn't know what those 5 topics are. I can't cram them all in the title, and I try to write it out in the body of the description, but YouTube doesn't know what I talk about when I do a live. And so when people are researching for that information in the future, they don't necessarily get sent to my video from YouTube because it's just a hodgepodge of discussion. So I may still do it just because it's been helpful for people just to hop on and ask questions. But when it comes to making the channel more robust and getting my stuff out there to more people, it's not helping in that respect. So keep your eyes out. I always post when I'm going to do those in my Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, well, it says you are. So watch the Facebook group, or you know, if you have questions, feel free to say, hey, can you do a Facebook group live this weekend? Let us know when, so we can hop on and ask some questions. I'm happy to do that too. Sometimes I have the time to do them, and I just don't know what needs to be discussed, or if anybody's going to be available to hop on and ask questions. And so anyway, I'll end it there, Autumn. I hope this has been helpful. I welcome your questions through email, just like this, or ask them in the Facebook group, or put them in a comment on the YouTube channel. If this has been helpful, of course, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel, and let me know how it goes at your interview. And if I missed anything, let me know. Comment on it, and I can answer it in the comment section.